Well, a very good evening, everybody. I'm a minute late here because we were busy talking about what happened in Indianapolis with the motorsport on the weekend. This is Patricia and David, Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH 286, and I find it better if I turned everything on. Just stand by one. Set anyway. Okay, back in action here. We're also talking to you tonight that we're going to just change things. There's a bit of weather that David needs to talk about, and we've got a lot of boats on passage, and certainly the ones that have left in the not too distant past really need to know what's going on weather-wise. So I think what we'll do is do that first, and then you'll know what's coming up because it sort of starts and then it moves up. So we'll do that first. But I wanted to tell, there's a couple of boats I have questions for. Taurus, you do not have an AIS functioning at the moment. As you know, 2 days and about 16 hours now, it's stopped. Artemis, I don't have any AIS for you. Doesn't matter, it's just I'm just letting you know in case you have one and you think it's working. And Whistler X, I have nothing there, but I might not have your name correct. So what we'll do is I'll pass the microphone. With a bit of luck, I'll get it back again. And here's David.
A bit of luck. All right. Well, we do have some weather, and I think all of you that have just left New Zealand, and those of you that are really about halfway up to, say, direct line to Fiji, anyway, should maybe pay attention to this. So what is going on is a depression has formed in the western Tasman. Now that depression is winding up and it's heading for New Zealand. In fact, it's going to be pretty much near Cook Strait by Wednesday, so 2 days from now. Now, the frontal band from this depression is going to run almost north-south. And this is what is going to be the problem for some of you yachts. Now, anybody that is south of 30 south by Wednesday at around lunchtime is going to be affected by this trough. Front, I should say. It is definitely a cold front. So the winds east of the axis of the front are going to be coming from the northeast, possibly north, and on the other side of the front they're going to be northwest. So anybody that's heading more or less north from New Zealand and south of 30, I'm afraid that's not very good news. Now that's Wednesday. Now on Thursday the frontal band moves over New Zealand and passes New Zealand. However, it's not done with being a frontal band. That band is going to run all the way, almost up the date line, all the way up to Fiji. So that means all of the winds from, I would say, about 25 south and southward are going to be northeast if you're on the east side of the date line. If you're on the west side of the date line, well, if you're right on the date line, even if you are on the just slightly west of the date line, you will have the effects of the front. But further to the west, if you are going, in other words, to New Caledonia, or if you're going to Vanuatu, you would have southerly quadrant winds. So you will be in pretty good shape. The boats that are going to have an issue are the ones that are going to Fiji or Minerva. Furthermore, there's going to be a lot of activity in the upper atmosphere, and this is causing rather, well, for lack of better words, quite a bit of activity around the Tonga area and just southwest of Tonga. We are going to be seeing quite a bit of convective activity, a lot of convergence, a lot of thunderstorms, a lot of squalls, and we are seeing areas of cyclonic circulation. And at first I thought it was going to develop into a cyclone, but I don't believe that's going to happen. The models are not picking that up. They're showing cyclonic circulation in various places, one over Fiji, another just southwest of Tonga, but that's it. It doesn't develop from there. But still, it's going to create a fair amount of wind and a fair amount of, like I said, convective activity, squalls, possible thunderstorms, that sort of thing. And that's going to be right through Thursday. And then come Friday, that area that I talked about is still going to be active, but it's going to be just to the southeast of Tonga. So that all the boats that are well, say, east of the date line, we'll call it, if you take a line from Tonga and go north-south, the boats to the west of that line are going to have southeast winds. However, there is going to be a very good chance of squally weather. Remnants of the front, could be a quasi-stationary front, could just be troughing, but in any case, it's going to cause a lot of activity in that area. So if anybody has any questions about that, feel free. Now, if you're picking up your models, you could look at EC and you can look at GFS, and you will see what I am talking about. So just caution everybody, if they have access to the models, to take a good look at them. And I don't know exactly who's listening or where you are and whether this is going to affect you, but this is what's going to happen. So I'm going to quit and give this now to the chief, and she'll carry on with calling in the various yachts that we're in contact with. So anyhow, here we are.
Well, that was good to get that over with, because if anyone has any questions, you can ask when it's your turn to call in. So I'm going to start with the boats that are further north, because this will be goodbye from us, because they're all going to be arriving tomorrow. Start with Taurus Gulf Harbour. Yeah, I paused there, Cara, because you're quite light, and I wanted to just make some adjustments to my receive radio. Yep, you've got my message, I presume, that your AIS isn't functioning, so go ahead with your position, over.
Our position is 23 degrees, 6 minutes south, 179 degrees and 07 minutes west. We currently have south Manila.
I didn't catch that last. If you could just slow down a bit and give me single digits, it would help, because you are very, very light. 23 degrees 26 south, 17907 west. Carry on, over.
To correct, our position is 23 degrees 56 minutes south, and we have a correct with 179 degrees 07 minutes, and we're currently located in South Minerva. Over.
Yep, South Minerva. And what's it like there in South Minerva? How many boats, and what's your wind there, over?
The wind conditions are currently 18 knots of the east-southeast, 110 degrees.
Okay, got that. So 18 knots east-southeast. Yeah, I hope it drops down a bit for you tomorrow, so that you can enjoy some meandering around. I can't tell you much about South Minerva, because although we've seen some lovely pictures from boats, we've never got to South Minerva ourselves, because it's always in the dark when we go past. So alright, enjoy it, and let us know when you're about to depart, Cara, over. Oh, okay. So heading to North Minerva tomorrow.
About the same winds tomorrow.
David says it's about the same winds tomorrow, in that sort of 18 knots range, east-southeast. So that's going to be a pleasant trip
Possibly
to
east. Possibly
North
east.
Minerva. It might be a bit more to the east, but certainly not too much of a problem to get to North Minerva. Okay, clear with Taurus and Zelda Gulf Harbour.
Papa, this is Zelda. Oh, copy.
Yeah, lovely copy, Heike. Go ahead.
Our position is 2516 south, 17920 west. Course or ground 020 true. Speed 6.3 knots. Wind 18 knots from the southeast. Swell 2.5 meters. 20% cloud cover. 1022 millibars. And all is well on board. Over.
Okay, good report, thank you. And hi to Cheryl. 2516 south, 17920 west, 020 true course at 6.3, 18 knots from the southeast, 2.5 metre swell, 20% cloud cover, and 1022, all is well. Sounds pretty good sailing, nice speed. Over.
Yeah, it's been nice sailing today, and surprisingly our AIS started working again. I don't know what's wrong with it yesterday, but yeah, it's working now. Over.
Yep, saw that, so no problem at all. Okay, clear with you and go to Cambria, Gulf Harbour. Yeah, nice copy, Roll, but go ahead. Is 1012 seems low. Okay, we have Cambria 1748 and 17938 east on a course of 350 true at 6 knots, and pretty solid conditions all day, 25 to 30 knots. Southeast, 2 metre swell from the southeast, 100% cloud cover. No sunscreen used there today. 1012 on the bar. So, yeah, well, that's keeping you on your toes, isn't it? Is all well, over?
Yes, all is well, and we have about 7.4 miles left to go, so we're actually trying to slow down at this point.
Yep, a nice Tuesday arrival. I forgot to look up what the holiday was for today, but anyway, they'll all be on the go tomorrow. There'll be quite a gathering of you. It's always fun to see and talk to people that you might have heard on the radio and didn't know. So that will be good tomorrow, and just a slow night to trot in there in the morning. Boy, it's quite decent winds though. You won't have much sail up. Okay, we'll clear with Rob and Charlene and go to Renard 4. Go ahead. Nothing heard from Renard, so let's go to Freya, Gulf Harbour.
System David, this is Freya. How copy?
Oh, good copy from you guys. Carry on.
Okay, so it says we are just in the path of Cambria. Position is 1827 south, 17941 east. Course over ground 350 true. Speed over ground 6.5. Wind 123 true. At about 25 knots. gusting to 31. Waves have calmed down significantly, about 1.5 meters from the east. R is 1011 and 90% cloud cover. ETA is the maybe around noon tomorrow. Over.
I'll give the Fiji forecast.
Okay, David will give the Fiji forecast for you guys next, but Freya is at 1827, 17941 east, 350 true at 6.5 knots with that southeast 25 to 31. Boy, 1.5 metre easterly swell, which has calmed down from what they've been reporting the last few days. 1011 and 90% cloud cover. Here's David with the latest Fiji forecast.
Right, thanks. Yes, this is from Fiji Met, and officially they have announced a strong wind warning that remains in force for all Fiji waters. So they're forecasting southeast winds 20 to 25 knots, 20 to 25 knots, rough seas, and a moderate southerly swell. And the further outlook, same thing, southeast winds 20 to 25 knots, rough seas. And it's been our personal experience that Fiji Met sometimes tends to be a little light on the wind forecast. So I'm not surprised that you're getting stronger winds than what they're forecasting. Pretty typical, it seems. But anyway, at least it's all in a good direction, and good luck on the arrival. Over.
Oh, hello, Simon. Yep, you're next on the list then, or actually we just jumped ahead of you, but go ahead, Simon. Over. Yep, I think I've got that. 1855 and 17941 west. 332 true, 5.5 to 6 knots, 25 to 30 knots southeast. Boy, all you guys are going to be so happy to get in. 3.5 metre swell, 100% cloud cover, and 1016 on the bar. Yep, and I'm sure the family are all looking forward to to getting on terra firma for a bit after that. But good speeds for Renard, so I'm sure you're not too upset about it, Simon. And I assume all is well. Over.
Yes, all is well. I don't think we'll be able to make it with the daylight tomorrow. Anyway, so we may talk again, but otherwise, thank you very much to you and David for all the advice on the weather. It's very appreciated.
Okay, well, we'll give you a call tomorrow and just see where you are. But yeah, that's you've been doing a good speed, so who knows? But yes, it's not really worthwhile, particularly going around the corner there to rush it. So we'll check with you again tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to stay on the similar sort of latitude. Go to El Risha on their way to Port Vila, and then master plan. El Risha, Gulf Harbour.
Gulf Harbour, this is El Risha. Good evening. How copy?
Nice copy, Ferry. Hello to Bridget. Go ahead.
We are fine. Let me start with the data. First, the position is 19 degrees 4 niner south, 168 degrees 58 east. The current course over ground is 3412. We have a boat speed of 5.8 knots, and we will have another 129 nautical miles to go. 129. That's the navigation paper. Do you copy?
Yes, I do. So you're smelling the barn on El Risha, 1949 south and 16858 east, 341 degrees true course, 5.8, only 129 miles to go, so that's nice timing. What's your current wind speed direction and what's the sea state? Over.
Roger, that's all right. So our true wind speed is 13 knots at the moment. We have the wind direction of east, east-southeast a little bit, and the sea has calmed down to a meter, 1 meter. Swell is still southeasterly, going to become more easterly. Over.
Okay, well, it sounds much more pleasant getting to Port Vila. 13 knots of east to east-southeast, and the swell is down to 1 meter from the southeast, maybe east-southeast. So, yep, as you get that protection from the land, you'll enjoy your last 129 miles. So, yep, we actually went to Vanuatu about 3 times. We really enjoy it there, so I'm sure you two will both enjoy it. So have a good time and a good landfall. Over.
Thank you so much. Yes, we are a little bit protected by the island of Tana at the moment, I guess, making it more comfortable for us right now. So we would like to say thank you, have a wonderful evening, and Arisha will be on the side. Thank you.
Okay, no problem, and we'll catch you when you take off for somewhere more again in the not too distant future. Going now to Master Plan, Gulf Harbour.
Gulf Harbour, this is Master Plan. I have a lot of interference. I can just hear you. I hope you can hear me. Over.
Yeah, very good copy, Dean. Good copy. Go ahead.
Thank you, Patricia. Our position 29 degrees 21 south, 178 degrees 56 east. Our course over ground 005 true. Our speed over ground 6 knots. The wind currently 070 at 12 knots. That's dropping. The swell 1.5 meters from the east. Cloud cover about 50%. And I'm reading 1017 on the barometer. Over.
Roger that. Well, it's very good copy, so I'm sure I have it exactly as you said. Master Plan is at 2921 south, 17856 east, on a course of 005 true at 6 knots. 070 is the wind direction, sort of just backing from east and dropping from 12 at the moment. 1.5 meter swell from the east, 50% cloud cover, and 1017 on the bar. So, hang on a minute.
Could you repeat the location?
Location is 2921. Hang on, I'm just going to make sure that all that makes sense from Master Plan. Yes, and 17856 east. So David is just
I'm having trouble with his barometric pressure.
yeah, the barometric pressure might well, that's what we're having trouble with, but we'll have a look at that one. Dean?
Should be about 1027.
It should be about 1027. Could you repeat your barometric pressure? Repeat the pressure. Over.
Yes, I read 1017.
Okay, well that seems low, but just make sure
It's
that you know what direction it's moving. That's about all you can do at this stage, but it is low. Okay, we'll clear with Dean on Master Plan and go to a group of you going to Minerva. Flying Cloud, then Mintaka, then Carrera. Flying Cloud, Cyrus, go ahead. Good copy. Go for it.
Thank you. We are looking at 338 179 degrees 38 minutes east. We are doing 7 knots in a 20 knot southeasterly with 2 meter side swell flapping and making for quite a wet boat. Over.
Okay, you cut out at the start. Must be a little bit of a problem with your microphone key because I haven't got your latitude. I've got the minutes 38. I need your course and I've got 20 knots southeast. So yes, if you could give me your course and latitude. Over.
Sure, latitude 25 degrees 38 minutes south. Longitude 179 degrees 38 east. Speed 7 knots. And yes, 20 knots southeast with a flapping sideways. Over.
Yep, I need your course, and I'm just missing that last comment after this 2 meter swell. Over.
The course is 19 magnetic, heading direct to Minerva North. And the flapping sideways is what we're experiencing and making quite a wet boat. Over.
Oh, goodness gracious me. You're on the ocean. Yeah, that's a bit of an annoyance, isn't it? But oh well, there's only one person needs to be getting wet at one time, I guess. So, all right, I have that now, 2538 and 17938, course of 019 magnetic, 7 knots with 20 knots of southeast, and a sideways thrust of 2 meters, heading off to North Minerva. All right, well, I guess it's not haute cuisine on board, but I'm sure you are all got your sea legs and enjoying it, really. Over.
Yes, it's good sailing, and we're glad we left early from New Zealand to enjoy some sailing now, not really stuck in the high. It's not quite the champagne sailing of yesterday, but still we're moving along, and 138 nautical miles to Minerva, so tomorrow afternoon we should be entering the reef.
Yep, and good timing to get in there in decent light. So yes, no, you are certainly living up to the boat name. So it's all good there. Okay, clear with Flying Cloud and on to Mintaka. Mintaka.
Radio, this is Mintaka. How do you copy?
Yeah, nice copy, Phil. Go ahead.
Our position is 28 degrees, 10.36 south, 178, 45.55 east. We're sailing a course of 025 true, speed 6.5 knots. We have a wind from the east, which has just pulled in from around 5 today to 12 to 15 knots after a day motoring. The swell is about 1 meter from the southeast, and the barometer reading here is 1016.
Okay, and I'm sure you were going to say all's well on board, but motoring all day, that's interesting, but you're out of it now. 2810 south, 17845 east, on a course of 025 true at 6.5 knots. Day of motoring, but east 12 to 15 now, so that would be pleasant if it stayed all night.
It will.
It will, says David. Okay, that's good. I'll hold you to that. 1 metre southeast swell and 1016. Sounds good, Phil. Over.
Yeah, thanks, Patricia. And look, if I could just ask David, we're heading to Minerva, and we will be in there Wednesday afternoon. Is this weather pattern likely to lock us in there for a couple of days? Otherwise, we're going to have to brave it. Can I have your comment, please, David?
Let me get to Minerva.
Hang on, he's just moving things around a bit here to look at what you're doing. So yes, ETA Wednesday PM. Hang on.
Okay, Phil, looking at Wednesday afternoon, say around 2 p.m., 1400 hours. From what I could see, averaging things out, winds look to be east-northeast, about 15 knots, 15 knots. Let's take a look at precipitation, if any. And there is a chance of showers, light showers. There is a trough that runs more or less north to south. Yeah, it runs from just west of Tonga, almost due south. And Minerva is just on the western edge, from what I could see, of that trough. No big deal, but
will he get stuck there? He doesn't.
Oh, you don't want to get stuck there. Well, I could think of better places. Well, actually, we wouldn't mind getting stuck there. We love Minerva. We've been there a number of times, and you should have a good time, hopefully, in between the rain showers. That's Wednesday. I'll just take a look at Thursday in case things change a little bit. And Thursday, I'm sorry to say that looking at Thursday, we are going to have that trough that I mentioned. Actually, it's a frontal band that runs from that depression that is over New Zealand on Wednesday, passes New Zealand on Thursday, but the frontal band runs north-south at about 178 west. Pretty much up and down 178 west is that frontal band. So the winds are going to be possibly northeast. If the frontal band's a little bit to the east of you, the winds are going to be southeast. And there will be rain in this. And let's take a look at wind on that date, Thursday afternoon, just a minute. I'd say about 20 knots. And again, everything depends upon exactly the axis of that frontal band. It won't do you any good to carry on, I could say, because that band runs all the way up to the islands. So in Minerva, you're quite safe, so I would not worry about that if you're concerned about the anchorage. It's a great anchorage. Boats have been in there in storm conditions, greater than gale storm conditions, with plenty of scope out, and they didn't move. So it should be pretty good. Unfortunately, it might be a little bit wet. I don't know. The good news is the boat gets washed off, I suppose. And if your water maker's broken, you could catch some water perhaps. So that's the story for Thursday. Did I confuse you? Over.
That's very helpful, David. Thank you. Yeah, no, the frontal band was known to us, was really just the depth of the frontal band and the extent of the winds we could expect. But I'm anticipating 2025, and you've confirmed that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And by the way, in those frontal bands, if there happens to be a cumulonimbus cloud, a thunderstorm in other words, the gusts are going to be in excess of 30. That's a given. So that just all depends on the severity of the front. So what I just gave you is more or less a mean wind, an average wind, but the gusts could definitely be higher. So I don't want to lead you astray on that. Over.
All copies. Thank you, David.
Yep, and it's not Mintaka's first rodeo, so you've been there, done that. So all good. Let's go to Carrera, who are going to be going to Minerva and then Tonga. Mintaka was going on to Savi. So Carrera, Gulf Harbour.
So
Harbour Radio, good evening. Our position is 28 degrees 28 south, 179 degrees 51 east. We're heading at 25 degrees true at about 7.5 knots. The wind is 15 knots from the northeast, and we've got about 10% cloud cover. A nice swell and a great.
Yep, great something. That's cut off, but anyway, we've got all the rest of it, Michael. 2828 south and 17951 east, 025 true, 7.5 knots, almost following in Mintaka's footsteps there, or the other way around. 15 knots of northeast and 60% cloud cover, and light seas. I think it would probably be about 1 metre, judging by what Phil's just reported. So sounds very good. Over.
Yes, that's correct, Chris. We're hoping to be in Minerva by around lunchtime on Wednesday. Over.
Yep. Okay. So it'll be a competition on who catches what going through the pass on Wednesday. I'm sure you'll all be catching something. So we'll talk to you again tomorrow night and just fine tune what your arrival conditions will be. In the meantime, have a good night, you guys.
Might be some showers.
Might be some showers on Wednesday, David reckons, but they come and go. Okay, let's go to Mackay. Mackay, off to Fiji.
Good afternoon, Patricia. This is Mackay, and I am also heading to Minerva. How copy, over?
Oh, I thought you were heading straight away. I must have got that confused. Sorry about that. So you'll be going through as well. Go ahead. Nice copy.
Yeah, Roger. Thank you. Looks like we're in for a rodeo. Current position, 29 degrees, 18 minutes south, 179 degrees, 25 minutes west. Course over ground is 14 degrees true, currently making in the vicinity of 5.2 knots. We've got a wind of 10 knots. It's been gusting to about 12 off and on all day. The wind direction is directly out of the east. Swell 1.5 meters or thereabouts, and it's out of the southeast. Sky, I've got about 10% cloud cover, pretty much a clear sky tonight. And looks like my bar is getting closer to yours. I got a 1029, and all is well on board for now. Over.
Yeah, boy, that sounds very pleasant on Mackay. 2918 south, 17925 west, 014 true at 5.2, and going to Minerva. 10 gusting 12. Well, I think you could cope with that one. From the east and 1.5 metre southeast swell, 1029er on the bar and 10% cloud cover. So pretty nice night ahead by the sound of it. So yeah, hopefully you might. Well, it's all dulling off now. All these fancy colours we've all been seeing. So yeah, pretty good night, Barry. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Thank you, Patricia. And looks like I'll be arriving at Minerva on Thursday. So a little bit of concern here. I might start motor sailing, see if I can't shave some time off that.
That would be good.
Yeah, David's just said that would be good. All right, yeah, get to catch up a little bit there and see if you can get in, but otherwise you've dealt with it all before. Okay, we'll clear with Mackay and go to Falado because we've had some beautiful pictures of the trough sent to us. It's amazing, this new technology, what it can achieve now. So Cameron, are you on frequency? Yeah, good copy, thank you. Good evening to all on Jan and all on board. Go ahead.
Okay, current position is 31 degrees, 37 minutes south, 179 degrees, 39 minutes east. We've been motoring all day and are still motoring now. Speed of 4.5 knots, heading on 034 degrees true. The wind is very variable. It's 120 degrees whilst we've been on the radio. I'll call it as it is now. roughly 11 knots. But again, I did see 3 knots about 15 minutes ago, so it's all over the place. Seas are slight with 1.5 metres swell, 95% cloud cover, and yes, with that trough to the west of us. Over.
Yeah, they were awesome pictures. 31 degrees 37 south and 179.39 east. Motoring pretty much all day. 4.5 knots on a course of 034 true. Variable direction, sort of 011 at the moment, or 0 up to 120, all over the show. 11 knots. Slight seas, 1.5, 95% cloud cover. Well, I suppose that the only good news is that there will be no sick bags used, and you'll just be waiting for that wind to fill in. Over.
Probably about 12 to 15.
We got the wind to fill in and a uniform direction is what we're asking for. But I don't think we're going to get that. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Righto, and it looks like just north of 30, say 29 south like that, we're looking at about 13 to 15 knots, roughly easterly quadrant. So you'll have some wind. You had been very, very close to the high center, and that's the reason for the lack of any air to billow out those sails. But tomorrow should be a little bit better, and then I think you heard what I had to say, what's going to happen on Wednesday and Thursday, and that would hopefully encourage you to get north as smartly as you can. Over.
Okay, now we've got Whistler X, I think, Artemis and Second Sun. Now I've got good detail on Second Sun and they're popping up on the AIS, no problem, but I'm not too sure about Whistler X. Jerry, are you on frequency?
Yes, good evening, Gulf Radio. This is Whistler X. How do you copy?
I've got good copy on you, Jerry, and hello to Janet. Well, first of all, can you tell me if you have an AIS, because I cannot see anything. Over.
Yes, I was going to report that. It appears that we lost our AIS shortly after leaving the Opua channel. We got confirmation of that today when we were next door to a boat, and we confirmed with them that they were not reading us, and so that is the case. Over.
Okay, that's no problem, because I just wanted to make sure I had everything spelling correctly here. Okay, go ahead, and we'll keep a good track of you that way. Over.
Okay, thanks very much, Patricia. We are currently at 2947 south, 17942 west. Our course over ground is 25 true. Our speed is currently 6 knots. We're motor sailing at this time. Wind is about 8 knots from the east. Sea state about 2 meters from the east, and the cloud about 20%. Our faro is reading 1025. Over.
Okay, got all that, and good, you've got 3 on board, because you'll be needing to keep good watches. 2947 south, 17942 west, course of 025 true, 6 knots motor sailing, 8 knots from the east. So
Should have 15 tomorrow.
yep, David reckons it will get up to 16 tomorrow, so that might help you enjoy a bit of peace and quiet. 20% cloud cover and 1025 on the bar. Over.
Yes, so I believe we are right behind Mackay pretty much, and I know we will not make Minerva Wednesday, so our arrival time at Minerva is planned for Thursday morning, so hopefully we don't have too much of that 25 knot mess. Over.
Yeah, and the wind direction. So I'm just. Do you want to?
Yeah,
Oh, he's
that's pretty
taking
good.
the microphone. Hang on.
I'm borrowing it. I'm not taking it. Yes, what I've given everybody regarding this Wednesday, Thursday business, again, is all coming from models and our experience for years and years in this area. Now, all that is subject to change. So, when we talk about grim weather on Thursday, it might not be. That system could move a little bit faster, it could be a little bit slower, but we will keep track of it. And when we talk to you tomorrow and the next day, we'll tell you exactly what we see. And we'll, at that point, see if there are any changes. Over.
Good. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much, David and Patricia. Thanks for standing by.
Okay, no problem. And just to be clear, seeing as you don't have the AIS, is it Whistler space X, just the letter X, over?
That is correct.
Okay, got it. All right, let's go now to Artemis. And I don't have any AIS on you either. Ingrid, could you clarify that one over?
Golf Harbour Radio, this is Artemis. Do you copy, Patricia?
Yep, good copy. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to let you know that our AIS has been on and off since leaving Oakland, so we are aware of that.
Okay, I won't worry about trying to find you on the AIS then, so we'll take your position now, over.
Perfect. Yeah, if it's any use, we are on a Garmin tracker, so we've got people keeping an eye. Our position at the moment, we are 30 degrees 50 minutes south, 177 degrees 28 minutes east. Our course over ground is currently 020 true with an average speed of 6 knots. Our wind direction has been shaky today, mostly from the southeast. At the moment it's 100 true, but mostly 10 to 13 knots, with about 60% cloud cover at the moment.
A little bit more wind tomorrow.
Yeah, and like the others, David says that you'll get a bit more wind tomorrow, so that will be good. Just making a note that you're on Garmin tracker here. 3050 south and 17728 east. 020 true course, 6 knots with a bit of variable direction, but about southeast, 100 degrees at the moment. 10 to 13 and a 60% cloud cover. So it sounds pretty pleasant for you guys, over.
Yeah, definitely. It's been happy days. We're about 453 nautical miles from our first waypoint at South Minerva, so we'll be keeping a close eye on that weather as well.
Yes, indeed. Yes, you're quite a bit south, so yes, you'll need to keep an eye on it, that's for sure. Okay, we'll clear with Artemis and go to Second Sun on their way to New Caledonia. Sorry for the long wait. Go ahead, over.
Roger, this is Second Sun, and our current position is 30 degrees 56 south, 172 degrees 30 minutes east. We're making 6 knots on a heading of 330 magnetic, and our wind right now is 15 from the east-northeast. The swell is 1 to 2 meters from the southeast, and our barometer reads 1022 decimal 5. Copy.
Yeah, good, except I want to clarify your course when it gets to that. 3056 south, 17230 east, on a course of, I think, 33, and I think it was 0. I'm not sure of that, just correct me later. A magnetic course, and 7 knots, 15 knots from the east-northeast, 1 to 2 metres southeast swell, and 1022.5 on the bar. So pretty good conditions for Second Sun, over.
Roger that. We're cruising along, enjoying this very well. We have 1 tuck in the sail, and we're cruising along at a comfortable speed, and that's ideal.
Yeah, no, it does sound pretty good for you guys that are heading either Vanuatu direction or New Caledonia direction, so that's good. Avoiding the stuff that's further He's David's just flicking through. Nothing much more to
Yeah,
add.
they're going to get caught up in a little
Oh,
bit.
you'll
of
get a little
trucking.
bit of what's happening, but nothing very dramatic. So have a good night, Andy, and those on board, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Over.
Roger that. It's thanks to the warning yesterday, we turned from more northerly headings. We're getting off our rum line, trying to make faster progress to the north and also give ourselves a little more time until that gets to us.
Okay, all under control there. Sounds good. Okay, we will clear with second sun. Is there anybody else wanting to make contact? Please call. No, nothing heard, and there's nothing. Max and Ali from Margero are listening in to you all. They're got a question in the system and a proposal for going, so David can sort that out on the email. And other than that, yeah, there's nothing much more from us. We'll talk to you again tomorrow, and you can have the frequency now if anybody wants to make contact with each other. So cheers everybody, have a good night. Quite different conditions in the various parts of the ocean, isn't there? So that's what sailing's all about. Cheers everybody, Gulf Harbour Radio is clear.
Renard.